Hey guys, Eve Daniels, the Nerdy Nanny. I write kids' books, but you all know this. I want to try and keep this short and to the point because there are so many other voices that deserve your time and attention so much more than mine right now. A few weeks ago, a man was murdered in broad daylight by 4 police officers in front of a crowd. To say no one saw it coming would be a lie. He wasn't the first. But right now, people all across the country and even all across the world are working together to try and create lasting change and maybe make it so that finally he's the last. There are a number of different ways you can get involved depending on your comfort level and what you're able to give. So I'm going to go ahead and list a few of those right now. You could, of course, go to a protest. Odds are there are protests happening in your community right now. I would love it if everyone was able to turn out physically to support this movement, but I recognize that this may not be the case. We are still in the middle of a global pandemic, and if you are immunocompromised or have anyone in your family who is, or if you're differently abled, turning out to a physical event might not be realistic or even safe right now. Even if it's supposed to be a well-organized, spaced-out event, if more people turn up than anticipated, crowding could become an issue, and with everyone so close to each other, it's almost impossible to socially distance. If you are able to turn out, great, go ahead. There are maps available online showing you where protests will be taking place. I can link those below. And if you're not able to attend in person, I absolutely understand, but I do want to take a moment to pause and reflect. If it weren't for COVID, would you still be reluctant to join a protest in person? And if the answer is yes, maybe think a little bit on why that is. The second thing that you can do to help is to donate to a cause. There are dozens of causes online working to create lasting change right now. I'm going to go ahead and read this list, and I'm going to list them down below as well. I just want to make sure I get the names right. And if anyone knows of any others, please feel free to comment them down below so that we can keep the ball rolling. The ones that I know of so far are Black Lives Matter, Black Vision Collective, Reclaim the Block, the official George Floyd Memorial Fund, the NAACP, American Civil Liberties Union, the National Bail Fund Network, Black and Brown Small Business Owners of America, the National Police Accountability Project, and so many more. Again, if you know of any that I have missed, please feel free to link them down below. If you want to donate but are unable to right now, that's completely fine. I know a lot of us are having a very difficult time. Some people have been out of work for over 3 months, and it just may not be practical or even possible to be able to contribute financially right now. If that's the case, though, there are dozens of content creators online right now who are donating all of the ad revenue from their creations to fund these programs. Again, I'm going to link a bunch of those below. All you have to do is watch them. Don't skip the ads, let them play through. You can even have them going on mute in the background while you're doing other things if you want to keep multiple going at the same time. If you do want to go ahead and re-watch them, make sure that you click away and click back so that it counts as a new view. Again, all of the proceeds from these are being contributed to some of the organizations that I've mentioned before, and more content creators are pitching in every day. You can also look up local laws and legislatures. Look for resolutions, things that are trying to be put into action right now. And of course, part of that is making sure that you're registered to vote. Keep up to date on the issues in your community and make sure that your vote is going to people who are going to enact real change moving forward. The only way we can make a lasting difference is to change the systems that have been put in place that got us to this point. Continue to keep learning and listening to community organizers and reform agencies. look at the numbers and do the research to understand how things got to where they are today. Look beneath the surface of an issue to find out what causes are contributing to the underlying problems. There's always more to learn, and there are always new voices to be heard. Again, I'm going to try and link some different resources for that down below, but it depends on your community and your local electorate as to what resources you might have available and what laws you might be able to impact right now. The other thing I want to ask people to do is to keep this conversation going. Talk to your friends, talk to your family, talk to your coworkers, talk to your kids. I've actually linked an article that I did for the Nerdy Nanny on how to approach this topic with your children. I know it's scary and tense and upsetting, and a lot of parents are avoiding this conversation altogether, but avoiding it isn't going to change things. Avoiding it is part of how we got to where we are. We're in for a lot of awkward and uncomfortable conversations, but that's part of what being an ally is. If you hear someone make a comment or say something disparaging, speak up. Let them know that you're not okay with what they're saying. Let them know that it's 2020. The last thing I want to talk to you guys about is something that, quite frankly, deserves its own TED Talk, but we're just going to try to get through this. I want to talk to you about diversifying your feeds. Social media algorithms like YouTube, Google, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, they use demographic information to show you posts that they believe you're going to like, suggest content, recommend new videos, and promote different products, resources, and pages. Part of this comes down to race. These demographic profiles do use race to help make recommendations. If you are consistently clicking on Caucasian and European American content creators, you will consistently be recommended Caucasian and European American content creators. So, my fellow pasty peoples, take a look at your feed. Tell me what you see. And if you see a whole lot of you looking back, maybe start to branch out. Look for content creators that are in areas that you're interested, but who you've never been recommended before. Look for topics that maybe you haven't clicked on before. See what they actually are and try subscribing and following different channels and feeds so that you have a broader range of content coming into your feed. Eliminating that demographic information as a bottleneck for your stream recommendations will actually help to give you a more diverse recommendation in the future. The world is a much more beautiful and diverse place when we can see all the colors in it. Protest, donate, stream, keep up to date on political events and register to vote. Listen, be an ally, and diversify your streams. There are so many more ways that you can contribute, and I'm going to link as many resources as I can down below, but now is not the time to be silent. Now is the time to do something. I hope this helps. I know that words alone aren't ever going to be enough, but hopefully, combined, we can make a change.